Today's podcast is sponsored by naturalbossnh.com, slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, and New Hampshire Vape Gallery. More on that later. Let's get into episode 59, Talking with Topher. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back. Oh, yeah. It's another beautiful, absolutely beautiful Monday. It is like 75, 78 degrees out there. I'm just loving it. Who doesn't love the sun, right? It's so nice out, and I'm so excited to be here, but I am feeling a little fatigued today, and I will get more into that in a moment. I want to take this time to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, sharing, rating, and reviewing. All of you out there make this podcast what it is today. You help me come back week after week, and I appreciate all of you for doing that. If you're new to the show, remember to subscribe, hit those like buttons, set those alarms for all the new episodes that are going to be uploading later. And of course, share, rate, and review. You can always hit me up. The official email of the podcast is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. Send whatever you want to talk about over to that email. Put your subject in the subject line, and we will get that conversation started. Remember to follow me on all social media. That's right. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on all of them. Give the follow. Great way to get some extra content throughout the week. And again, that is Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. All right. Got all that out of the way, and let's get into this week's episode. I'm, like I said, very excited to be here, feeling fatigued, but enjoying the weather. It actually feels like spring for the first time, and we've been in spring. I mean, we're almost in summer, right? It's almost June 21st is summer, so we got like a little bit over a month left. So you figure each season's 3 months long, so we've been doing this for a little over 2 months, and this is probably the first time over the week that it actually feels like spring, going outside in shorts, the sun's shining, and it's just beautiful out there. It makes it easy to do yard work right now. This is a great time to get caught up with that, to get it all ready for the summer, because once that heat comes, everybody will be a bitchin'. That's right. I believe it. That's usually what happens around here. It's crazy. We're either bitching that it's too cold, we're bitching that it's raining, or we're bitching it's too hot. We're never happy in New England, but that's okay. The weather, just wait 5 minutes, it'll change. But yeah, I'm super excited. It's Monday, May 17th, 2021, and when you see this, it will be Thursday. So I never know, should I be saying what day it is, or should I be saying what day it's gonna be? It always feels weird to me recording early and dropping it late, but I don't know. I guess I'll just keep doing it this way. It's what works for me. But yeah, so I've been feeling fatigued, and the reason for that is, well, I got vaccinated. Yep, I finally did it. I did not get to choose which one I got, unfortunately, but it's okay because my hand, I felt like I was forced in a sense, and not by anybody in particular, but with the way things are going, right? So right now the CDC guidelines are saying no more masks for people that are that have been vaccinated 100%, so they don't have to wear a mask anymore, and that's fine. I'm happy about that. But as a person who works in retail and in a store dealing with customers, I have now come to realize that it's going to be more and more difficult for me to ask people to put a mask on while they're in the store, right? Because I wasn't going to get vaccinated, but with the mask mandate being lifted, I run into an issue. eventually we're going to get to a point where I'm going to get into a fight with somebody, and maybe not a physical fight, but like definitely words, because I'm going to be asking them to put on their mask because I'm not vaccinated. And they're like, I'm vaccinated and I don't have to wear my mask. And I basically wanted to avoid that entire scenario. I did not want to deal with a customer and get them upset and then allow them to give me a 1-star review because they were asked to put on a mask when the CDC says that they don't have to wear it anymore. So working in the retail industry, I felt like my hand was tied. My hands were tied. So what I did was I made the best decision I could for myself. If I'm not going to be able to ask people to put masks on anymore because I may get into a verbal fight with them, then I just went and got vaccinated. Me and my wife, we made the appointment. I went down to Hannaford yesterday, walked in. They were like, we have Johnson & Johnson and we have Moderna. And I said, well, I don't want Johnson & Johnson, so give me Moderna. So we both got Moderna. We both got our first shot. She's feeling a little ill right now. Me, I am tired. I'm not really achy. My arm's achy. My arm feels like it got wailed on by somebody. But that's normal. You're injecting fluid into your muscle. So it's going to be sore from any shot. But as for anything else, I'm not feeling anything. So I'm happy about that. I'm really hoping that the second shot will be just as easy to get over. Some people said first shot really bad, second shot really bad. So I guess it just depends on who you are, type of person, your body build, all that stuff. Just like everything else on this planet, nothing is made to work across the board exactly the same for every single person. And I expected that. But I just made sure that anything that I was feeling were supposed to be symptoms of getting the shot, and they are. So it's normal, according to them. Not bad, but it is. It's making me feel tired, and I felt like my hands were just tied, and it was upsetting to do this because I was really trying to stick with not getting vaccinated, but oh well, that's over now. I am now I have got the vaccine. I need to wait 28 days before my next injection, and then 14 days after that injection, I will be fully vaccinated. So second shot will be on June 15th. And then 2 weeks after that, so you're going to be I'm looking at June 29th. And I will be fully vaccinated. I will have my little card that says that I'm fully vaccinated. I do not know if I'm going to have to carry that around. Seems like a bad idea. Paper gets destroyed. It gets lost. You pull it in and out of your pocket. I mean, how many times have you lost your wallet? I've lost mine a bunch of times. I've misplaced it. Paperwork you got to carry around. All of a sudden you get to the destination you were supposed to have the paperwork for, and a piece of it's missing, and it's just a fucking nightmare. I'm going to be on the side of the digital one. If they want me to have a QR code that shows that I have been fully vaccinated and they need to scan it, it's probably the way I'm going to go. I don't misplace my phone. I always have it on me. I don't have to look for anything extra. All I have to do is, go to the email or the app. I don't know what they're going to do for us, but I think even though it's an invasion of our privacy, which today we don't have any, so the fact that a lot of people are still screaming we need privacy, 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 I mean, let's get real about it today. We don't have any. Nobody does. I had privacy up until a year ago, and now there's no privacy. I mean, you can find out anything you want on almost anybody these days. So unless you're not using the internet and you're not using a smartphone, you're not making podcasts, you're not doing any of these things that we're all basically doing today, then yeah, you obviously have privacy still. Because the only way to have privacy today is to not be on the internet at all. And for the majority of this country, that's, almost all of us. So I don't think there really is that much privacy anymore. And I just don't think I'm going to be able to keep that piece of paper with me as much as I'm, going to have my phone. So it just makes sense to have a code to scan or something. But I am looking forward to hopefully, being able to take my mask off in about 6 weeks. I believe the owner's getting vaccinated as well, because I had a discussion with him. And it's going to be really hard for us to ask people to wear masks. So it's like at that point, if you're not vaccinated, you're not safe, I guess. I'm hoping that I'm a little bit safer because of this. I don't know. I don't know anything. These are all my thoughts that I'm going through right now. And I'm just trying to share them so that more people either feel comfortable getting it done or, you don't have to. I'm not saying that you should, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't. What I am saying is that as soon as they flip the switch and activate all the little robots in my system, I'm ready to go. No, but I am. I'm ready to take the mask off. I'm ready to take the plastic down. I'm ready to run the store kind of like we used to before lockdown. I will say that there was a few things that lockdown, the whole social distancing and the wiping the disinfectant on everything. And I will have to say, because of my OCD, those were things I really enjoyed, because I love everything being sanitized. I love everything being clean, and it doesn't bother me one iota about any of that stuff. But I don't think I'm ever going to bring back like being able to smell juices or, I definitely will never, I definitely never touch anybody's devices or put things together or fill tanks or do any of that stuff because of liabilities for the shop. So these are all things that kind of died with COVID, and I will not be bringing them back. Just like menus, do you have a book I can flip through so I can see all of your juices? No, you can take a look around the store. I can answer all the questions you probably have to ask, and if I can't answer them, then we're going to look them up on the internet together. So it's really shown me that there was a bunch of stuff that we were doing that we don't have to do anymore. And then there was some stuff that I'm happy to bring back. I'm happy. I will be happy when I get to take that plastic down, and actually, it's annoying for you as the customer out there. I know it's annoying for me when I'm trying to look at the customer or you. It's very frustrating. The sun hits those things. I can't see your face. Not that I can see your face anyways because of the mask, but it does. It makes the visual part of shopping and being in a store, it makes it kind of difficult. And for you as the consumer, it's hard for you to read things on the wall, or maybe the wind blows and then the piece of plastic's moving and it's causing this like glimmer so you can't see the products on the shelf. So I understand from both aspects that like it's just going to be a great day when the plastic comes down. I can see it from both sides though. So I'm excited about all of this. I'm excited to move forward because I feel like getting this done, feeling safe in the store, is going to help me move forward. If I didn't get vaccinated and people stopped wearing masks in the store, then I'm just putting myself in a position to catch COVID. And I've spent so long and so hard to not get it that would really upset me. So I was like, what's going to upset me more? Getting injected with the vaccine or catching COVID? And I was like, catching COVID. So I made the best decision for myself. I did want to go with Pfizer, I'll be honest, but Moderna was there, and so I did it. I just wanted a 2-shot. I know at the end of the day, what I wanted for me was a 2-shot. So that's what I got. That's where I'm at. That's why I'm fatigued. But so I'm not, like I said, I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I think you should do what is best for you. And if you think that not getting it is good for you, then that's perfect. And if you think getting it is good for you, then that's perfect too. It doesn't really matter to me. It's all your decision to make. But nobody's going to be wearing a mask soon. So it's going to be very interesting out there. You know, I think once the mask comes off, who knows? I mean, all right, let me throw this thought at you. How about right now everybody's getting vaccinated? We're getting close. And now the CDC's like, take the masks off because, and they're not giving us the because, this is only in my mind, because we want to see if our vaccine worked. So now they're like, hey, you know, we really want to see if this thing is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So now if we tell everybody that it's okay if you're fully vaccinated to take your mask off, we'll really get to see what this thing does. I'm telling you, we are in an experiment right now. We are all little tiny guinea pigs in this giant worldwide experiment. Now, I made a joke about the bots, the robots. I don't believe I got injected with robots. Just want to make that very clear. I do not think there's any nanobots in any of these vaccines. I do not think that they're going to control me. And I do not. And I also understand that it's not going to change my DNA. So take that all out of it. Take it all out of the equation when you're making your decision of whether or not to get vaccinated. This stuff is not going to mess with your DNA. Okay, I don't have all the specifics on it, but what I've read and what I've listened to, there's no chance of it ever changing our DNA. There's no little nanobots inside of it. No one's going to flip a switch and we all turn into, I don't know what you want to call it, a zombie, because you're not going to turn into a robot, okay? You're not going to be like one day just sitting here in front of a podcast and recording, and the next thing you know, flip a switch and it's just like murder. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to happen. So if those are things that are holding you back, or you really believe that that's true, then it just might not be for you. But hey, things are not for everybody, but I'm excited. I am excited to move forward, get out of this, take the mask off, and try to get back to what I remember. I'm not even going to say it was normal, because normal doesn't exist anymore. This is our new normal. Every step we take, getting closer to taking masks off, taking the plastic down, getting gatherings back together. Yeah, sure, that was normal, right? And we're trying to get back to that. But it's never going to be the same as it was in 2019 before all this went down. We're never going to see that again. We never see those things again. You know, every time something major happens, we learn from it. We figure out how to deal with it or live with it, which this is both. And then we move on from that. And wherever that brings us, that is the new norm. So I've been saying this for like a year now. We are in our normal. Like, this is it. We're in it. And when we get to the next step, we'll be in the next stage of it. And it's going to be new. It's not going to be old. And to think that things can go back to the way they once were, I think, is an insane thought. Because I don't believe that can happen. When I got into trouble and I got, and I did things, it was like, yeah, I wish I never did that. I wish I didn't get in trouble. You know, I wish I didn't get caught. How's that? But I couldn't change that fact. I can't change that fact for the people that it involved. So those people always think of me as that type of person. So even today, as I've evolved and I've gotten better, you know, those people probably still think of me as the same douchebag that I was back then. And that's okay, because that's how they remember me. But that's not how I am anymore. So just like our normal was in 2019, this is our normal now in 2021. Our normal in 2020 really sucked. And now we're moving on to the end of 2021 into 2022 with another new normal. And hopefully it gets closer to the old, but still, it's going to be whatever it is. It's not going to be what we remember. You know, we might be able to do things that we were once doing. We might be able to do all kinds of stuff that we were once doing, but it's not going to be the same anymore. You know, things are going to be different. People have changed because of this. Business ideas have changed because of this. All kinds of stuff has changed, and those changes will not go back to the way they were. And, you know, so just like my shop now has changed. I'm not going to do a lot of stuff that we were doing in 2019 in 2022. You know, I'm really hoping that I can, you know, get the owner to get rid of the couch one day, and maybe we can actually use it for some valuable retail space, because I will tell you that as much as having customers come in and hang out and all that, it was great, it's just not the same anymore, you know? And I don't think we're going to get back to that stage for quite some time. And I will be honest with you, there's no more vaping in the vape shop. That's not an option. So there's no reason to hang out in there anymore, because now you got to go outside to vape. And that makes sense. I don't have proper air stuff. I don't have proper ducking, air filtration, or any of that stuff in that store. And I will tell you, when we first opened and we were running that shop, I was like, I can't believe vape shops don't allow you to vape inside. And now I'm like, why did I ever let anybody vape inside? I used to come home, I used to feel super sick. I'd be shaky as hell. My hands would feel weird. I'd have pins and needles, all kinds of weird shit going on from everybody vaping in that store 8 to 10 hours a day. And I'm just breathing everybody's stuff in. Over the last year, I have never felt this good. Like, I just feel good when I leave work. I'm not shaky. I'm not sickly. Basically, I was just getting nicotine poisoning the entire time I was working, because I didn't even have to vape. All I had to do was breathe in everybody else's exhale vape, and that was plenty of nicotine. But I was vaping along with everybody, and I mean, we would cloud that store out, and it would look like a fog rolled in. You couldn't see 2 inches in front of you. And I will never allow that to happen today. There's no way I want to feel that way anymore, or be that way, or plus it's just, God, it's so gross. You know, at the end of the day, all my stuff would be super covered and just, you know, exhale and the vapor, and it would be all over the counters. It would be all over everything. Everything had this stickiness to it, and it was just disgusting. And I didn't understand that I was doing it to myself by allowing people to vape inside the store. So those are things that I'm glad we no longer do. So if we could just get rid of the couch, because we don't need people hanging out in the store. I mean, you don't need to be like lounging on the couch. It's not like we have entertainment on the TV for anybody. It's just rolling through the Pandora. But it's just like one of those things that I don't want to bring back. I don't want to bring back, you know, any of those type of things that keep people indoors. Like, there's no reason for people to be hanging out longer in a store than necessary to get your stuff. And I think COVID introduced that to us. Like, you just need to get your stuff and get out. And that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, granted, there's many conversations had, but that's okay too. Conversation's fine. But you don't need to sit on the couch and do this and do that. No. All you need to do, we can have a conversation. You buy your stuff. You know, there might be a little table, you know, to change the coils or something. We'll probably bring that back one day, you know, so you can change your coil and you can just fill up your tank or something and do something like that. But we don't need a lounge area, you know? No one's coming in, no one's vaping in the store, no one's doing any of that stuff anymore. It's just not happening. I am not one for, plus, if you come in and you're just hanging out, you're not buying anything, you're not hanging out anymore. You know what I mean? Like these are things that, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not being mean or rude, because I'm a business, right? And I have to run a business. Or, yeah, I have to run a business. I'm a manager. And I want to run my business as efficiently as possible. And that's what I'm trying to do. Now I've noticed that the business is more efficient with nobody vaping in it, with nobody hanging out for longer than a 5-10 minute conversation. I've noticed things moving faster. I get my work done faster. I'm capable of getting my job done faster because there's nobody lingering around, and I feel like I have to pay attention to them and give them my attention when I've already gone through the transaction and the conversation's kind of over, and now they're just hanging out. And I'm not saying that I don't want people to hang out, and I'm not trying to be uninviting, but I'm just trying to be honest about what it's like to run a retail business today. It's tough. It's really, really tough. And, the government hasn't made it easy to even keep a vape shop afloat today. They've made it extremely difficult. And I'm super thankful that we were capable of riding that wave and getting past it. Now, are there going to be more battles along the way? Yeah, they're not done trying to destroy this industry. Big tobacco wants nothing to do with it, and yeah, they want money from it, and they've bought a few things out. But as you've noticed, those things that they bought out aren't doing as well anymore, and that's because they just bought them to run them into the ground. They're not buying them to. They don't see a profit from this. They just see a problem, and they're going to take the problem out. And so I see more and more battles coming, and I know it's going to. And it's going to make it difficult it's going to make it even more difficult. Maine's going through a flavor ban right now. So it's not over. There's going to be more and more battles. And the last thing I need is it to be dealing with things that are unnecessary today. So if it's one thing COVID has showed me, it showed me that, a lot of the stuff that I thought was super important to keep the vape shop going, to make it more inviting and to keep people in the store are absolutely unnecessary, because so many of you out there have given us such positive reviews. You know what type of people we are. You come in our store, you're very happy with your purchases, and you've left many, many 5-star reviews, and it has been so great to see all of you taking us in and loving the store, loving the info, and we are so appreciated. We are so appreciative of all of our customers out there for doing that and showing everybody that our store is a place to come if you have questions and if you're looking for something, because we always have stuff in stock, and we're both knowledgeable behind the counter, and that's what's important. That's what's going to make us last the times. Is that those key components is all the vape shop needs. And as long as we keep those key components nice and tight and solid, I truthfully believe that there's no reason for all the little gimmicky things we used to have. And that's because of all of you out there, So from me, from New Hampshire Vape Gallery, I wanted to say thank you to all the customers, first off. And second of all, these changes are not a negative thing. This is not a negative thing. I know what a vape shop used to be in the past. I understand that. But this is the future. We are here. We are in it. And this is our new norm. We have to sometimes in life make sacrifices in order to continue moving forward. And I think the things I'm thinking about, making sure don't come back into the vape shop, even when the mask and the plastic comes down or off. I don't think those are things that we need to bring back because I don't think they were ever necessary, So that's how I feel about that. And that's it's everything I got going on right now at the shop and with the vaccinations and where I'm at. So I've been doing a lot of work. Like I said, I do all of this podcast on my own. So now, if you are new to the podcast, if you look right down here, right there, that's my new watermark. So you can click on that and you can subscribe. I didn't even know it existed. I'm super pumped about it. I changed a few things, changing the header. I got all kinds of stuff going on with this podcast right now. I'm trying to get Tyler up on some new music. I'm trying to get a soundboard going. And I'm just trying to keep this thing updated for all of you out there. I know I'm killing the blue face is what I'm doing. So Talking with Topher is going to have a new look. I think it was a great picture and it was a great start, but where the podcast is today, I'm in a better place, and you have all out there put this podcast in a better place, and I feel like it's a time for an update. So I'm excited. It's going to take me a couple weeks, so you might still see the blue face for a little while, but I'm changing everything about it. Everything's got to update. Everything's got to change. Nothing can stay the same exact way. And this is what I'm talking about today. You know what I'm saying? Things are going to change. Things are going to change. Let's see here. So injections. Yeah. So I told you last week that I was getting a hold of the doctor for my B12. And I ended up doing it. It's called, it's weird. I for some reason, it's methylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin. And there's 1,000 mcgs per milliliter, and there's 30 milliliters. So this stuff right here is what I've been using to make me happy in a sense. Like I said, when I did the research on Wellbutrin and all these antidepressants, a lot of the studies showed B12 was low. And so I was also trying to boost my testosterone at the time. But the B12 really helped me. Now, I did an injection Wednesday when I got it last week, and my mood all the way till Sunday was phenomenal. I was in a great mood, feeling good. And then this morning I woke up, and I believe it was the Moderna shot that made me feel the way I'm feeling now. I'm just making sure I'm hydrated. Don't take Tylenol. I don't take any of that stuff. I know I probably should, but I'm just making sure I'm hydrated while this shot makes its way through my body or whatever it's doing. But so I did a shot of the B12 as well to try and boost the mood. I am going to do this. I usually do it twice a week. And then this will, it's 30 shots. So if you do it twice a week, that's 8 shots a month. So, I mean, you can get a good ride out of this. It's definitely not cheap. But I feel it's totally worth trying. Obviously, speak to your doctors, do your homework, look things up. Don't take my word for it. Please don't start just injecting yourself with stuff, okay? I do everything that I'm telling you everything that I do, but I've done all my homework. I've spoken to the doctors. My doctor knows I do this. He keeps an eye on these things, and now that I'm doing this again, he said that I'm going to have another test done to make sure that I'm not flooding myself with B12. But even though I wasn't before, but the thing is, last time I did it, I had a doctor I hated. This time I'm doing it, I have a doctor that's working with me and that I really like. So I'm glad he's doing these things. These are the things that I wish my other doctor would have done for me. So I'm back on it. I'm excited. My mood's been boosted. I'm feeling good. And I knew it was a shortage of B12. I just knew it. It was from fasting for 5 days, only being on my supplement for a week, and then having to go off of my B12 again for 2 weeks in a row. Now you're 3 weeks separated, and it takes at least 2 weeks to get back into your system, which is why I went with the injectable, because it doesn't take 2 weeks for this to get into my system. It's in my system within 24 hours. It's in my system right then, but it pumps through the system in 24 hours, and I actually get a quicker result. So this is temporary. Even though I'm doing it, it's temporary. I'm going to do this until this bottle's gone. I should be fine, and then I should be able to go back to my normal. It's just because I fell off of my supplements for so long. It takes way too long sometimes for those to kick back in. But I'm looking into all kinds of things. I'm definitely getting on a testosterone treatment. I don't know if it's going to be for building muscle as much, but it's definitely going to build some muscle. I'm going to be doing something. I think I'm going for TRT. I spoke to him a little bit about that. It's pretty damn pricey, but I do it for 30 to 90 days, and you can get some great results. And as long as you keep up with exercise and lifting and all the stuff afterwards, it's something that you can do it all the time. I mean, you can just do it. It doesn't matter. It's actually really good for people like me in my age group. When you get into your 40s, your testosterone starts dropping. When you get into your 50s, it starts dropping more. So there's nothing wrong with replacing that hormone. I'm not a sports guy. I'm not playing sports, and I'm not telling people that I'm not doing it. So it's not a surprise, but it's not like steroids, you know what I mean? TRT is a great way to replace your testosterone, and it can help build muscle and stuff like that as long as you do all the proper workouts. It's not just going to do it for you, but that's the same with steroids too. Yeah, you're going to get big, but you still got to put in all the work. So like when people are like, oh, well, you take steroids, yeah, they're still working though. It just means that their recovery rate's that much better. Now, if you're doing like crazy things and it gets out of control and whatever, then yeah, there's a problem. But when you talk to your doctors and you do what you're supposed to, it's usually not an issue. And I think that's where everybody kind of it turns a blind eye. They're like, no, it's just steroids. Steroids are steroids. And it's like, no, it's not. It's totally different. Look it up. Read some information, educate yourselves, please. Everybody needs to educate themselves and stop paying attention to Twitter and headlines and all that other stupid shit out there that just, well, it friggin' retards us. It holds us back, it slows us down, and it's not the way things need to be. It's just not. So I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be looking into that within the next couple months. I got a bunch of other stuff I got to get done before summer ends, but I don't even want to think about that right now because it hasn't even begun. naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com. And you need these products. Why? Because they're organic and they're good for you and they're great for your skin and they're great for helping with keeping your hands clean and getting rid of stress and making sure that beard is nice and smooth and, of course, keeping your lips moist. And all of these products are so great. I've been using them for over a year now. Their hand sanitizer is a staple in my home, and I love it. My wife loves it. Everybody that I've had try it, buys it, and it's just a great, great product. The salve is amazing. Like I say over and over again, it works great on my dry skin, on the neck, on the elbows, on the knees. I love it. This lip balm is awesome, works great. The beard oil smells nice, and it also is just a phenomenal product. And then, of course, you've got your body and foot soak. That is great for taking those stressful work days away. And you can only get this stuff here at naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com. Buy any one or all 5 of these products today and make sure you tell them Topher sent you. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. I love this website, and as you can see, it's spring, right? What better way to enjoy spring or enjoy summer than in some brand new board shorts? These things are awesome. The prints are amazing. The colors are amazing. I mean, just look at these things. They are fire. I love them. They've got 3 different designs right now. They got the monkey, they got the tiger, and they got the tiki swim shorts. I mean, these things are awesome. All their hats, new styles. I love the purple with the pink. I think it's great. Of course, they got a awesome sweatshirt, hood and no hood. They got heavy and light, and then of course they got their sweatpants, and those all have embroidering on them. Their hats are embroidered, and their embroidering is just as high quality as all of their prints for their t-shirts and everything else. Women's leggings. I mean, these things are just awesome. Look at these gloves. I love these gloves. These are just the blue and orange. And then, of course, you also have the skull print, which, I mean, they're just awesome. They're just awesome. They're fun, and you can use them, right? They work great. I use them all the time to work on my yard, on my car. It doesn't matter. They're great gloves, and they just work. And of course, they have skateboards and kids clothing, and they always will have their neck gaiters and their winter hats, and they're available all year round. But while it's spring, get those swim shorts, get those t-shirts, and get them today at slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You're not sure how to spell it? It's right there above my head. So go ahead, type it in, tell them Talking with Topher sent you. New Hampshire Vape Gallery is located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. You're always welcome to come shop inside the store, and feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171. This vape shop, I'm telling you, we've got it all. We've got everything you're looking for. Look at these brand new hide devices. 1,500 puffs, $20. Amazing device. They just keep getting bigger and bigger. Hides now got $25 ones with 2,500 puffs. You got $30 ones that are fully rechargeable, so you can actually empty all the liquid in the tank. Those are 3,300 puffs. And then you got $35, 4,500 puff rechargeables. Absolutely insane that you can keep recharging this thing until the tank goes empty. And they're great products for helping you get off of cigarettes. Now, my favorite device right at this moment in time is the brand new IPX80. Look at this thing. Full digital screen. It's got the rubber sides. It's got the beautiful back. I mean, this thing is awesome. Look at this. Dual airflow. Giant airflow on both sides. This device is my new best friend. I absolutely love it. I love the production from it. It uses the brand new RPM2 coil. The pod's 5.7 mils big. It's just an overall great device. And you can get those at New Hampshire Vape Gallery, and they're only $55. Isn't that awesome? You remember when a mod used to cost you almost $200, and now you can get a full pod system for $55. They're smaller, the batteries are built in, and you don't have to worry about breaking any glass. I mean, they're just amazing. And you can get all that stuff here at New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. And you're always welcome to shop in our store. And give us a call, 603-814-4171. I look forward to seeing you there. And now, back to the show. All right, here we are. We're going to do some current events, and, you know, it's going to be, I think it's fun. I love doing this. I have to get better at it, so I need to keep doing it. Let's see. I think the first one I'm going to talk about is Tony Hinchcliffe. This is insane to me. Now, this guy here, Mr. Peng, I think that's his name, right? Yeah, Peng. I guess he was announcing Tony Hinchcliffe onto stage, and Tony Hinchcliffe came out and, well, he said the C word. Now, I'm not going to say it. You probably already know what it is. It's this one's tough because I believe people are just looking for a reason to cancel anybody today. Let's just play the clip, right? Because everybody's seen it. It's had over 1 million views. So let's see what's going on.
Give it up for the one and only Tony Hinchcliffe, everybody!
One more time for the filthy little fucking that was just up here. While all you fucking race traders are hooping and hollering, I'm back there watching you puking in a fucking bucket. Oh, we make it a gunpowder. Oh, you want extra soy sauce. Oh, you borrow money from us. And you guys just eating it up, you fucking pussy.
So that was the clip. Now there's a 2-minute and 31-second video that I'm not going to play of Peng saying that he was shocked and he was surprised that Tony did this. Now, I've listened to a few different interviews now. I've listened to obviously the TMZ shit, and I read an article on how WME, and I don't know who that is, maybe it's his agent or something, dropped him because of this. Now, the problem is I guess this was a secret show. And a secret show, if you don't know what that is, that means that the audience has no idea who's coming on for a guest. So he was not in front of his audience, which if you know Tony Hinchcliffe and you're part of his audience, which I am, I'm a fan. I want to get that out of there right away. So I am a fan. And what was happening is Peng was doing anti-Asian, he's doing the like, saying how he doesn't want things to be violent, and he's doing, you know what I mean? Positivity towards Asians, kill the hate, kill this, just, oh my God, those are the wrong words to use. He's trying to stop Asian hate. So a lot of his set was based off of that. So Tony's a roaster. This is what he does. He goes the complete opposite way from the last person. I've heard every comic say this. Like, if somebody is doing something up on stage and you walk up there and don't acknowledge what was going on, no matter what you're doing, it may not get off. It may not get feet, right? May not take off. And so from me being a fan and seeing what Tony does for the last 8 years, he he's done exactly what he always does. He went the opposite way. He goes in hard, and then he'll go to his shit. But he has to acknowledge what just happened up on that stage. So I don't see it as being racist. I see it as him being a roaster and doing what Tony always does. Now, if you don't know, he does a show called Kill Tony on YouTube, where you put your name in a bucket, he picks the name out of the bucket, and then that person gets to go up on stage for 60 seconds, do comedy. Then after the 60 seconds, they've got anywhere from 5 to maybe 10 minutes if you're lucky, just talking, having a conversation, doing an interview. And when the person comes up and does comedy, whether they do good or whether they do bad, sometimes the interview doesn't go well at all because the person won't stop doing jokes, or maybe they're just not good in conversation, or maybe they bombed up on stage. And then Tony and them will, they praise a lot of people. They try not to be too negative anymore, and that's fine. I mean, you got to be negative when negativity is due. Like, if you were just up there and you did bad and you've been doing it for 3 years, they probably should tell you that you're not doing so good. You don't want to be told that you're doing good if you're not doing good. You're never going to get better that way. Like, if I had nothing but positive comments all the time, I wouldn't get better at this. So it doesn't help us to always have the positive movement and to have obstacles taken out of our way. But I feel like he was doing what so when people are up on stage, they make fun of him, right? They make fun of him. They'll point out the holes in their act. They'll do all kinds of stuff. So when I saw this, I just saw Tony being Tony. Tony doing what he always does. And for that reason, I was confused about this. And then you find out that this clip was recorded, I guess, by somebody else, and then Pang decided to post it, or the person that recorded it was a comedian. It's something like that. But so this is another comedian doing this. And I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it personally. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. If you're at the comedy show, why are you recording why are you recording the comedy show? Do you know that now none of us are going to be allowed to bring a phone into a show anymore? None of us. Joey Diaz said it this morning. He was on his podcast. He's talking about this, and he says, I never had anybody put anything in a bag ever. And he's like, now everybody will put their phone in a bag, because it will stop this. They're working stuff out. They're not, these shows are not for everybody. Now, I understand it was a secret show, so these people paid money to see whatever they wanted to see, but they didn't know who else was coming up, so it's hit or miss that way. So he wasn't in front of his audience, which makes these things a little bit more difficult. It seems like to me, what I feel is Tony, since the podcast is so enormous and it's international, he feels like everybody is his audience. So maybe that's why he went super hard, Maybe he felt it was going to turn the room around. I don't know what he was thinking. But the point is I was never supposed to see that. That was never supposed to come out. That was never supposed to hit TMZ. That was something he might have been working on. That could be something that he's writing right now, So he is a roaster at heart, and that's what he's going to do. So it just really, really pissed me off that all these virtual signaling justice warriors are at it again. And it's like, oh, well, again, you're trying to cancel somebody that has Well, before this happened, he had 180,000 subscribers, and now he's well over 200. So all you did was boost him because you can't shut him down, right? He didn't do that on YouTube's platform. So because he didn't do it on YouTube's platform, YouTube's got no reason to take down his channel. And yes, he may have lost WME, whoever that is. I guess it's an agent. I don't know. I don't know how important that is to him. I don't know. Is that even important to him? Because, I mean, isn't he just going to probably find somebody else to book the shows or do this? Or, you know, maybe Red Band can start booking the shows and then they don't even need an agent and they cut them out completely. Because, I mean, they're basically self-sustaining anyways at this point. They've been doing that show for so long that, and I have to make a correction. I believe I've only been listening to Tony Hinchcliffe for 5 years. I don't know why I said 8 earlier. So I don't understand. From me as a fan, I was confused because that was Tony being Tony. Now, the other thought I had when I was talking to Tyler was, I was like, what if all the people that had shows canceled were part of this tidal wave? So, like myself, I was looking forward to the Boston show. It was supposed to be April last year. Then it got pushed. Then it got pushed. Then it got pushed. Then it got pushed. And then we were supposed to go next month. I asked for the day off. And then not even 2 days later, the show is officially canceled permanently. And then this happens. So you're going to tell me that part of the dog pile isn't a bunch of angry people that got their show canceled? So I really believe there's a lot more involved in this than just Tony Hinchcliffe being a racist, which, I mean, you got David Lucas saying that he's not a racist. I don't believe that Tony Hinchcliffe is a racist. There's so many comedians out there that Tony Hinchcliffe deals with, and I'm not supporting Asian hate. I don't support any of it. When that moron of a president we had said the Wuhan flu and caused this uproar, and then all the stupid people out there that thought it was the Asian people in America, which I don't even understand why you would be like taking that anger out on somebody in America when they're in America. Like, it never made any sense to me. I didn't get it. Like, when he said that and caused an uproar, I was like, what is happening right now? And then you hear about the violence and old people getting beat up and just Asians in general being attacked. I'm like, why? They're American citizens. Why are you beating up or bothering American citizens? I don't understand where we lose our sight. When things happen, and the same thing happened when the Twin Towers were attacked. Everybody who wore a turban got attacked. But they were American citizens. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? What is it about us that makes us so stupid? And I don't know how to say it any nicer than that, but I don't get it. I don't understand why people think this way. It's not the people here, right? If the flu came from China and was made in a lab in Wuhan, then the people you need to get upset with are the people in Wuhan, not the American Asians in America. So it doesn't make any sense to me. None of this has ever made any sense to me, and this is why I don't believe Tony Hinchcliffe is or was being racist at all. So it's really crazy to me. We really need to work on this. Okay? We really just need to work on it. Now, my second one. Dun, 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 dun. Now, if you are a Fighter and the Kid fan, right? You watching it with Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub, And then Brian Callen's bullshit happened. He had to go. Brendan had to figure out what to do. He tried to co-host, didn't work a couple times. And then he moved to a new studio, set things up differently. Oh, no. He tried it with Malik and Chappelle. And that seemed to click. So then they moved the studio. They, the fighter and the Kidz changed the name. And now, as of like 3 weeks ago, Malik is no longer on the show. And there has been this giant uproar about Brendan Shaw being a douchebag, which I'm not going to say he's a douchebag because I don't know him. I am a fan of him. But I've been watching his podcast, the podcast that he's on, the podcast that he's helped bring up, the people that he's introduced to the world and now are doing better. He's been a really positive person behind podcasting and lifting people up. And I've never seen anything different. I mean, King and the Sting, What's Up with Brendan Schaub. I mean, he's got so many going on, and he's so positive all the time. Now, does that mean he's not a douchebag? Nah, we're all douchebags. I was a super douchebag. I try to be less of a douchebag today. But on the other hand, Malik used to be, he would lie about shit. He would lie all the time about stuff. Now, let me see here. I'm just going to do this to get
I used to be fatter.
All right. So everybody keeps saying that there's like a real reason he got fired and blah, 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 blah. I don't really know the real reason. It could be from what he said in this 52-second clip. I don't know, but all I know is that out of the amount of time that I watched him on camera, he always seemed to try to portray himself as, something he's not. You could just see it in the way that he talked about his weight, in the way that he talked about his style, just everything. You know what I mean? It took him forever to finally say that, like, his woman that he was with had the money and he didn't, and da-da-da-da-da. But a lot of the stuff that he said was false. And one of the main things about a podcast is you don't want to be falsifying anything. If anything, this needs to be probably the most honest place. You probably need to be honest at all times on this. I like to be honest at all times on this podcast. I like to tell you I don't know what I'm talking about. I like to tell you that you shouldn't do this without doing your homework. Those are all very important things to me because I am not trying to force my views or thoughts on anybody. I'm just hoping that my views and thoughts open up a dialogue or make you ask questions about what's going on in your own life or maybe somebody else's life. You never know. I've been wanting to do one thing with this podcast since I started it, and that was help people. So if I'm helping people, then I'm finally doing what I feel I'm supposed to be doing, which is great. But you have to be honest in order to help people. And if you're a liar or you just consistently tell fibs, it's not going to work. People are going to see through that. And I started to get annoyed with him because he would do it almost all the time. It was just something else. Or he would talk about somebody famous just so he could shout the name. And then whatever he was talking about was false. So I was like, well, why would he talk about that? And then, of course, when he talks about it and he's false, and then Brendan attacks it, Brendan hits him back with questions that makes him feel like he's being attacked, which he's not. He's not being attacked. He's being questioned. If you're saying this, it should be honest. So if you're not being honest and you're being caught in a lie right now, what are you doing? And yes, my viewers need to see me doing this to you because my viewers know that I want to give you the truth. I want honest things going on my podcast. This is what I believe Brendan strives for. And Malik was not. I mean, The Rolex wasn't real. Just all kinds of stupid things. And that's what I hate the most, is the stupid little petty lies. I've got somebody in my life that does the exact same thing, and I absolutely love the person to death, but I absolutely hate the fact that there's always some little white lie coming out. It drives me crazy. It's like, you are better than this. You don't have to talk to me this way. You don't have to tell me things just to make me happy. I'm an adult. Nothing in life makes me that happy anymore. Like, you don't have to lie to me to try and make it better or sugarcoat it. I don't want sugarcoating now. I want the blunt truth. I want to know exactly what's going on. It doesn't have to be sugarcoated. Just tell me, and don't fib about it. Don't tell stupid little lies that make no sense whatsoever. But this person has been doing it for so long that they're trapped in it. And it's like an addiction. It's just part of their programming. And those are things I had to break away from. So when I saw Brendan tearing down Malik during these podcasts, I was like, he deserves it. And he's super annoying. I hope he gets fired. I said that 3 weeks before he got fired. Or let go. Or quit. I don't fucking care. He's not on the show anymore. Hooray. That's my favorite part. He was bad for the show, and now he's not on it. And everybody's like, oh, Malik's been attacked, and he's calling Brendan Schaub this and Brendan Schaub that. Dude, Brendan Schaub gave him an opportunity that any of us would probably, like, kill for. I would kill to be on a podcast like that, but I'm not a very intelligent person, so the conversation would only go so far. I can barely have a conversation with myself. But I was just like, I can't believe now he's coming out and he's saying, yeah, you know, they didn't like me. As you could see, I was drawn back and I wouldn't talk a lot. And that's because Brendan kept giving me shade. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Maybe if you had just spoken the truth and not tried to fib your way through shit and then make false statements about famous people and bringing names up just to bring names up, then maybe you'd still be on the show. Like, stupid is as stupid does. You know what I mean? And you would see it. Like, if you watch the show, you can actually see Brendan's demeanor change depending on what Malik said. And then he would try to fix it or point out that he was not correct about something, and then Malik would get all defensive, and it would turn into this thing, and then Chappelle had to jump in. So it would turn into this 20 minutes of just annoying, because he's just being stupid. So I don't know about anybody else out there. I was very happy that this happened. I noticed that Brian Callen's making a comeback on the show. The only difference is when Brian's on, they have like only one ad, which is probably something Brendan has come to terms with. And he's like, this show just needs to go on, and it needs to go on with or without sponsors. So I think, like everything, that had to change, and now it's changing again. And I think it went in a good direction. I think Chappelle's great for the show. And I did not think Malik was very good for the show. And I just found him to be super annoying. You know, I don't understand why you're going to be on a podcast that's so popular and then you're going to sit there and just say incorrect things and just tall tales is the word I'm looking for. So I got this video and I'll play it up on YouTube for you. Hold on. All right. So I'll play the video. Like I said, it's only 58 seconds long, and this is something that popped up, and they're saying that this is the real reason why he got fired.
It doesn't fit anybody.
Episode with Chris Stefano. I don't think this is true.
Look at that. Yeah, that's it with the bald head.
So this is
a big fight this weekend.
If you're into boxing, yeah.
It's pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's on Fox. It's on PBC.
No,
Fox. I don't think it's pay-per-view.
You sure?
No one's buying that.
I think it's on.
I would buy that fight.
I would buy it because I like it. My girl's Mexican as fuck, and she was like, "Wait, do we have to pay for this?"
Yeah, bro. I talked to
Vaccines get down with boxing, dog.
See, look, yeah, I told you,
Yeah, that's pay-per-view.
bro. I talked to PBC yesterday.
Imagine your last name was areola. That's just your scientific name for the nipple.
Valid. He's trying to destroy you.
I stand by my statement. Man.
Stand by it.
Appreciate that.
You guys want to see this?
Yeah, I want to see that.
He got hit right in the face.
97.
You see what I mean? It's just so frustrating because that's what he did. That is exactly what I was just talking about. So he would do things like that all the time. And it was just annoying because why? Because why? You know what I mean? So it would just derail the show. It wasn't good for it. So whether he quit, whether he was let go, it doesn't matter. I think this is going to be better for the fighter and the kids, or the fighter and the kid, whatever Brendan's going to relabel it to. But that was my second current event. Lots of stuff going on. And I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty cool that, like, podcasting is making it into TMZ and all this stuff. So that's how big this stuff is. It's not how big I am, but I mean, it's so crazy that now, you know, the news looks to Twitter for their stories, and TMZ looks to podcasting for their shit. It's crazy. The dynamic of the entertainment industry, because I feel like this is entertainment, right? I hope. I may not be entertaining, so that's fine. But yeah, it's changed so drastically now. So here we go. This is going to be a fun one. I'm going to end on this one. But this is fucking crazy. Man. All right, here we go. I don't know how to zoom in and out on my I wish I did. I don't know how to do the zoomy thing on the screen. I've tried everything. I did properties. I just can't figure out how to zoom in on my browser. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to try and make it better so that I can zoom in a little bit. I've noticed just from editing and looking back on previous podcasts that even this setup being way better than it was before, still could use the pinch zoom effect. So I'm going to work on that, see if I can figure that out. But this is what I can do for today. So the Colonial Pipeline, right? Anybody else noticing gas prices going up? Because I did. It cost me almost $30 to fill my 14-gallon tank. And that's with I do mid-grade. I don't do high grade. I do mid. Even though mid, I mean, you're 20 cents away from the high stuff. So why not just do the other stuff? But that's an argument for myself. But yeah, so pipeline gets hacked. They hack the system to the point where it's completely shut down. And then they ask for ransom of $5 million to turn it all back on. Supposedly, as of right now, I do not know whether or not they've located the perpetrators, if they know what country did this, if they followed the money. I don't know what they've done. But I do know that I always thought we were never supposed to negotiate with terrorists, and you're not supposed to pay ransoms. So is that just a cop thing? So, like, if you get kidnapped and the kidnappers ask for ransom, the cops are always like, we're not paying the ransom. And then people listen to them, they don't pay the ransom, and then their family member dies. And they're just like, well, it's a 50-50 chance. If we gave them the money, they could have died anyways. If we didn't give them the money, there was a chance that they would have called back, but they didn't this time. So I was confused that that the ransom was actually paid. And I'm assuming it was paid because they had no people that could figure out how to get through whatever wall that I'm going to just call them a terrorist, because anybody who does this, I think that's what they're doing. They're terrorizing us in a sense. You know, they shut it down and they made people go crazy. And, you know, people were hoarding gas, and I'll get to that in a second. But I was just like shocked that the ransom got paid. I mean, at first I didn't even understand what was going on. I was like, oh, they shut down a pipeline and now we can't get gas? No. It was a whole digital hack, and they hacked into the system, and it shut all the valves off, and they couldn't turn anything back on, and it completely stopped them from being able to flow the gasoline to wherever it needed to go. So it really fucked shit up. And it really was really bad. It was bad, you know, and now they got, so they pay the ransom, they get everything turned back on, and now all of our gas prices are going up because, you know, I believe that if you were to look at the people that heard about this happening and then going to hoard gas, if you were ever wondering who bought all the toilet paper, that was them, is what my thoughts were. I was like, oh my God, here it is again. Here's a toilet paper incident. I was like, I bet you, if not all of them, most of the people hoarding gas this time around were also the same people getting all the paper towels, all the toilet paper, wiping the shelves out. And how much do you want to bet that these people were thinking we could hoard all this gas, and then when people need gas, I'll be able to sell it to them, but I'll make some money from this. It's absolutely disgusting that people do this. I don't understand it. Like, you didn't have to rush and go get gas, because when you rush and go get gas, you put it in things that it's not supposed to be in. And that brings me to this. I'll make it bigger for you guys and girls. Look at this line of people getting gas. It is just insane. Insane. I mean, every gas station was completely filled up. Now, this isn't, I'm going to go back. This is crazy. Ooh, the FBI on Monday identified DarkSide, a criminal syndicate with ties to Russia, as the hacking group behind the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. Later that day, the group acknowledged responsibility and issued an unusual apology, claiming that the goal was not to create problems for society, but rather to make money. Are you fucking kidding me? I just found this out right now by accident. What the fuck? So they were just like, hey, we just wanted to make money? What were they doing? Trying to boost up another fucking cryptocurrency? Oh my God. But I couldn't believe the amount of people. No. So there was a gas shortage in 1979. That was the year I was born. So you've got people fighting people in a line. You've got people filling their cars up with all kinds of gas cans. I don't know about you, but I feel very unsafe getting propane and gasoline. Two things I do not like driving around with in my car, okay? These people have, it looks to be 2, 4, 6, 8 cans. 8 5-gallon cans of gas. This woman has them laying on their side. Okay, that is not how you store gasoline in your car for traveling. We got other people. Now that looks like a scene from a movie. Okay, that's stupid. The other things I've seen is people putting it in plastic bags and they're putting it in milk jugs. And I noticed all of this. And then not even 3 hours later, after I get home, so I get home at 9 o'clock at night. So around 11 o'clock is when the news comes back on, right? And now there is a public announcement that gasoline only goes in a car or in the proper container. There was a public announcement. You don't know where to put gas. You don't know how to store gas. Gasoline eats plastic. Why would you ever put gasoline in a plastic bag? I just... Now, you take the people that, well, one, hoard all the gas, right? They're buying it up. Those are the toilet paper people. Buying it all up. Now you can't get your hands on it, right? They got it at home. They're sitting on it. Great. They made it home safe. Thank God. There could have been so many more accidents from this happening. But then you got people that do the exact same thing that this woman was doing, which is, 8 cans. Yes, I love it. I love it. Technology, when it doesn't work, makes me so happy. All right, so like this woman putting 8 cans in there, right? They're on their side. They're not correct. This is going to be a problem. Plus, you get gas smell in the car. It's horrible. It gives me a headache. Guy fills up some type of a vehicle. I don't remember if it was like a Land Rover or a Humvee or something. Fills up the back seat with proper gas canisters and then lights a cigarette. I don't think he's alive. The car was gone. And I don't understand where this comes from. I don't get this. It's just like putting it in a plastic bag or putting it in a milk jug. But why are you putting gasoline in a milk jug? That's not going to do anything. So now all these people trying to hoard all this gas, well, like I just said, that guy, explosion, the plastic bags get eaten through within a matter of a minute. So by the time you've even filled the bag, now the gas is all over the ground. People trying to fill up milk jugs, well, they're trying to fill them up on the ground. The gas eats through the plastic. Now that gas is all over the ground. So from what I looked up and what I read, almost 40% of the gas that was purchased that day was literally thrown away the same moment. So no wonder there's a gas shortage. You're just pouring it all over the ground. Because why? Because you couldn't go get the proper container to put the gas in? So not only do you have people buying all the gas like they bought all the toilet paper, but then you got all the people just throwing it away or blowing themselves up. And that adds to the shortage because that's gas that could have made it into somebody's car. You've only got one car, right? I mean, most households have two, but you personally can only drive one car at a time. So just get gas for that car. I heard there was going to be a gas shortage. I told my wife to get gas on the way home, and I got gas on the way home. That was it. I'm not buying anything else. Now, when I said that, I hadn't looked at the map of where the massive shortage happened. And I'm going to tell you, I was not surprised. I don't know what that says. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I just really wasn't that surprised. But I guess if I have any message from this, just be safer with gasoline and propane. It's dangerous. It's explosive. It's corrosive. Don't put it in plastic bags. Don't put it in water jugs. And yeah, you can't just leave that stuff hanging around, you know? So be careful what you do. Don't don't hoard gasoline. That's a bad idea. And yeah, that's the one I'm ending on. It's just crazy. Everything is crazy right now. Cancel culture sucks. And every time there's like something, you've always got the toilet paper people to make sure that we have nothing left for anybody else because all they care about is themselves. And that's what COVID showed me with the toilet paper incident, and that's what this gas shortage is showing me again, is that people just will do whatever they can to make sure that nobody else gets ahead with them. They just need everything that they need and fuck everybody else. And if we keep living this way and you keep saying fuck everybody else and just taking care of you, it's just not going to work, man. This isn't going to work. This is a group effort. This whole entire world is a group effort. We got to come together. We got to work together. And remember next time, you're out there, you're walking around, you're in a store, you're at a restaurant. Everybody that you see in America is an American for the most part and should be treated as such, no matter race, color, or anything. It doesn't matter. Respect your fellow man, woman, whatever. Just have respect for one another. All right, so on that note, that is the podcast today. I appreciate everybody for joining me. It's been so much fun. I am so glad that all of you out there are enjoying this as much as me. Like I said, you keep this podcast afloat. You keep me coming back week after week. Remember to subscribe, hit those like buttons, share this thing, rate, review, and set the alarms for all the new podcasts coming to you week after week. Email is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. Hit me up, whatever you want to talk about, put it in the subject line. We'll get it started. And then, of course, you can always follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Again, that's Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Go there, follow. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great Thursday. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, I'll talk to you later.